Hello and welcome to Car Dealer Live. My name is James Batchelor. Now, today we are talking about how to get customers over the line and to transact, and how social media and marketing can really help a dealer's business. Joining me to speak more on this is the CEO of Marketing Delivery, Jeremy Evans, and Group Marketing Manager at Ancaster, Carly Keeler. Hello, both.
Hi, how you doing?
Very good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Jamie, let me turn to you first.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure many of our viewers know all about marketing delivery, but for those who haven't, can you just explain what the company does, please?
Yeah, sure. So we basically put ourselves in the middle of the kind of the customer and the dealership in terms of that data journey, so that we can take data from all the existing dealer systems that are out there, lead management systems, DMS, stock management, and figure out where their customers and prospects are in that kind of journey, if you like, of inquiry management, and after sales retention. So by using the data, we can establish contact points for the dealership with their customers and with their prospects, and then deliver those messages, be it email, SMS, and run the social media campaigns that go along with it to help, as you said in your intro, get people over the line when it comes to sale, and then retain them once they're in the business in after sales, and bring them back then as future customers to buy their next vehicles from our clients as well.
Mm. And Carly, I mean, what's your relationship with Jeremy's team?
So we work with Jeremy on the sales side of our business for all emails that are going to customers after they've inquired, if they've been looking at our stock, thank you for buying emails, all the way through to sales emails 2 years down the line, when we're trying to get customers back in.
I'll come back to emails in a minute because that's something I want to dive into a little bit more. But firstly, Jeremy, I mean, I alluded to it in my intro about getting customers to complete the transaction.
Yeah.
What are you seeing as reasons prospective customers don't buy the car they've inquired about, and also what can dealers do about this?
Yeah, so so the main couple of reasons that we're seeing when we ask customers, because quite a lot what we do is kind of that lost sales survey, why didn't you buy from us today? Stock availability, so they've looked at a vehicle, seen it on the website, booked to come in and see it, and it's been sold before they've been able to either finalize their decision or come in to see the vehicle. Or from an affordability point of view, either the price was not quite where they thought it was going to be, the part exchange valuation wasn't quite right, so for some reason they couldn't quite make that kind of that price point and that or that monthly payment point on that vehicle. They're the two top reasons. The third one is that the sales team hadn't got back to them with answers to their queries in regards to those vehicles. Often that's because the sales team know the vehicle's been sold, so they don't follow up and go back to the customer with any queries that they've got. So from our perspective, we kind of set out to basically use what customers were telling us about their interactions with dealerships and figure out how we can use the tech better. So there are an ever increasing number of dealer groups with the kind of consolidation that's going on in the industry. So to ask a sales exec at one location to keep an eye on changing stock at multiple locations, quite often up and down the country, with prices again are changing. There's never been more price tracking tools available to dealerships, so prices change more often than ever before as well. So it's kind of an impossible manual task to keep on top of all of that. So we advocate using tech to know which customers are looking, what they're looking for, and then map that against the vehicles that are in stock, changing vehicles in stock and changing prices of vehicles that are in stock. So use the tech to map all of that, apply it across the customers that are looking, because if your top selling cars are getting 4 or 5 inquiries on them, what are you doing with the other 3 or 4 people that don't buy that car, and how do you get those to the next car along that's coming? So yeah, we're all about advocating the use of the tech to keep across changing stock, changing prices, and then keeping the customers informed of that, so that you're bringing them back to the sales team when they're already kind of warmed up and triaged, if you like.
Yeah. Carly, I mean, it's difficult in any retail business, but particularly with car dealerships, especially with car dealer groups where they've got numerous sites, getting sales executives to report back or understanding why sales haven't gone through. It must be a bit of a tricky process.
Yeah, definitely. You know, trying to get the guys to record where the customers have come from, you know, what the conversation was whilst the customer was in the showroom is really difficult, because they don't see the other side of it. They don't see that we're trying to hit customers when they're in the right moment to buy. So yeah, having a way of getting back in touch with those customers as the stock updates, as prices change, things like that, is really key.
Mm. Jeremy, we know customers love to send dealers emails.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about the other way around? I mean, do you think customers actually respond to emails from dealers?
When they're relevant, yeah. So all of our processes are mapped around customer contact points when it should be relevant for the customer, either because they're doing something in an active inquiry or something has changed. Like I said, stock has changed, prices have changed, or whatever. So we're using the tech to identify a contact point that should be relevant for that customer, and if it's relevant and from a source that they're expecting to hear from. So if they are in an inquiry cycle with Ancaster, for example, to receive an email from Ancaster shouldn't be a surprise from them. Because it's of the moment and it's relevant to them, and it should contain relevant information to them. And we see open rates regularly in the 70% on our emails, because we are sending them at the right time with the right message to people, and getting it delivered. So, you know, there's all sorts of tech out there to deliver emails. Not all of it hits the inbox. Lots of it ends up in clutter, and lots of it ends up in spam. You know, we've done a lot of work to make sure that our systems deliver to the inbox. And again, the more you can deliver to the inbox, the more relevant it is. If customers can reply to it rather than it come from a no reply at email address, which is a pet hate of mine.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to give customers the chance to engage with that email whichever way they want to, whether it's by clicking buttons and going back to a website, by clicking off to social media channels, or by just actually simply replying to the email. You've just got to make sure that those emails can interact with the customer as the customer wants to. And once you do all of that, they open them, they interact with them, they engage with them.
Yeah, I know. I think we've all got experience of this, but you know, I frequently get emails from car dealers who I've perhaps transacted with in the past a very long time ago, or I might even have lodged a brochure request and I get a a no reply email from them, and there isn't a sense of a personalized kind of service. I mean, Carly, do you work really hard on targeting the right customers with the right kind of emails?
Yes, so it's something we're actually working on with Jeremy at the moment. So we've got really sort of strict processes in place once you've bought a car to make sure that you're getting relevant messages about, you know, thank you for inquiry, thank you for your order, with all the information you might need, and an introduction to the after sales team once you've taken delivery. But what we found is that, you know, when you're further down the line, we tend to just send blanket emails out to people from a certain point with our offers on. And actually, we're working at the moment on a really bespoke journey for customers, so that actually we're giving them information about the industry whilst they're in that kind of new just bought phase. And then when they're ready to change their car again, then we start to target them with really specific messages around why they should upgrade, what's next for them in their car buying journey.
Mm. Jeremy, where does social media fit in all of this? We all know it's a great tool to build your brand, build your profile, but is there a real retail angle with social media for dealers?
Yeah, there is. Certainly on the Meta channels, Facebook, Instagram, we use the same stock feeds that we use for the email campaigns for they're called inventories because it's come from the States. So stock feeds, inventories, inventory ads on Facebook and Instagram. And that means that we can target people, for example, that have been on Carly's website looking at used cars. We can target them with, again, the same changes in used car profiles that we get for the emails and new vehicles in stock, price changes. We can target people who we know are active in market because they've been on the website already, or that Facebook has tracked their traffic and has decided they're in a pot of people that we call a conquest audience that are looking at car content, other dealers' content, and therefore look like they're in market. So we can target them with offers for new cars. We can target them with specific used car stock elements. And again, everybody wants to get their stock to market really quickly and get it sold while it's at its most profitable in the early days of it being in stock. And again, we can specify within that inventory which part of that inventory is displayed initially to the customers. So it can be new cars in stock to try and get them gone. If there is an aging stock problem, again, we can tick some boxes in the back end of our inventory management tools and say, well, actually, we're going to highlight the older stock because we want to get rid of it. Or EV stock, we can, if people have been on the EV pages, again, we can target them with EV stock. So we can get really specific in terms of retail, because these are people that are in market buying, and when they go back to Facebook or go back to Instagram, they see the ads from the dealerships that they're already interacting with the relevant stock and relevant offers.
Yeah, Carly, I mean, how do you use social media? Because I mean, it's important for all dealers of all shapes and sizes, but particularly the large dealer groups who've got so many different brands, and with that, lots of different customers to talk to. I mean, how important is it for your business?
We use social media from a paid point of view and an organic point of view. So for stock in particular, it's mainly just our used stock that we put on there. So that's a group-wide offering, which makes it much easier for us to just be able to put all of the stock out to all of our audiences. And as Jeremy says, targeting people that have been on the website and being able to target them by brand. If they've been on a Nissan page, we'll serve them Nissan adverts. And then from a new car point of view, we tend to just use the paid advertising where we put the artwork on there. We're not feeding a stock feed through to Meta for our new car stock.
Jeremy, my final question is about something you mentioned just a second ago, and that's about aging stock. Now it's a topic that we talk a lot about on Car Dealer Live, on our podcasts, and even at our events. Aging stock. I mean, getting through stock churn is really, really important. But what about aging stock? I mean, how can dealers prevent this or deal with it to minimize what can be quite
so I guess there's different it's the same tool but different nuances to it depending on the business issue that the dealership is facing. And I think the important thing to mention is that any tech dealers are employing should be there to support their business priorities, not to dictate their business priorities. It's easy to do tech for tech's sake and then you try and fit business priorities in around that tech, but actually the tech should be there to support the business. So if the business has an aging stock issue, then you can use the tech to target that stock to try and get it in front of more people, to try and get it gone as quickly as possible, and to prevent that stock getting to the stage where it is getting overaged. Then again, targeting it as soon as it comes into stock, even if it's not been photographed yet. We quite a lot of the emails with the stock alert stuff that we send out, it's got a placeholder, not yet been photographed. And actually, to a customer who is in market looking, to get something through that says this car is so new we haven't even taken its photos yet, but if you want to be the first to find out about it, kind of click here and we'll be in touch. That's quite a powerful message. So two elements to it really, I suppose, is trying to get the new car stock out there, or the new into stock out there as quickly as possible, to get it in front of those people who, like I say, have their issues of availability. The car they were looking for isn't available anymore. Here's some more. So try and get those in front of them while they're hot to trot. And if there is an issue, then change the targeting, change the way that the stock is being presented, either through emails or through social, to show that overage stock, so that again it can be put in front of all those people, and hopefully kind of get it out the door, get it gone then as quickly as possible.
Carly, I suppose it's something you've really got to keep a close eye on, isn't it, with aging stock, particularly with forecourt space at a premium?
Yeah, definitely. Being a London dealer, we suffer with it. Our stock churn has to be kept up to date. We have to make sure that we're really pushing out those models that are about to go overage. So reinstating the car alerts from marketing delivery has really, really helped with that.
Well, fantastic. It's some really interesting stuff there. Thank you both. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem. Good to see you.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Well, that's it for today's Car Dealer Live. Join us again very soon. Bye-bye.